Easy Tigers, it's the One More Thing Daily with myself, Dave Columbo Jenkins, just updating you on all of the cool things that we're putting out into the universe, all the cool things that we love and that we celebrate and we're shouting about, and all the cool culture that we are documenting. And today I want to hit you on a real kind of serious note. I want to share with you one of the most touching and sensitive interviews I've ever done in my entire career as a journalist, which is over 20 years, mainly in music, but in other sectors as well. It was by far one of the most unique and very sensitive and high pressure, I would say, but just the pressure that I put on myself situations. And I want to share a bit more with you. It relates to something that we just put out recently, and I just think it's really, really special. So that's where we're at this week. We are dropping a free download from APOM. We should hopefully have a mix out by the end of the week. And most importantly, the big thing this week is Annalise's first podcast. This is with Ecstatic. It's the second chapter of our New Generation series. I'm so buzzing about this. I'm going to go more on about it later on in the week, but being able to help people develop from one place to another and really empower them is everything that One More Thing and our mentorship is all about. And it's just really, really special to me. So that's coming out later on in the week. There's lots of written pieces with lots of other people as well. We're really excited about all of it. As always, there's just one more thing firing out at every possible point. But I want to highlight something that we dropped out on Friday. So Friday, 7 p.m, our big piece of the week was our Run Da Riddim short documentary. In August, I went to Lost Horizon, where they were celebrating a 2-year anniversary of the passing of Leighton, and also his friends Joe and Lawrence. Leighton had literally just launched Run Da Riddim just days before he sadly passed away at the very young age of 18. Here's a little clip from the documentary if you've not already seen it. Why are we here?
We're here to celebrate 2 years of Run Da Riddim and the 2-year anniversary of our boys.
Every event always has a lot of love in it, and there's a lot of people. There's always people taking part. Wow, and I can feel him there when we're doing those events as well.
His song selection was always just spot on.
He would get involved with like the crowd as well.
He said, "Mum," he said to you, he's finally found what he wanted to do. And then
when he found
that, we lost him.
It's like the worst possible situation for any community ever. We come together and we're celebrating what he made for us almost. Like,
Put dinner on a plate for us.
Yeah,
Put
exactly.
dinner on a plate and we're gobbling it up.
Exactly.
Powerful, right? Run Da Riddim is a label that we've been supportive of right since the very start, since they launched. It was Euphonic, big up Euphonic, for linking me up with Andrew Leighton, Calum Leighton's father, who has taken on the label. He's taken on the label and started to run it and manage it. Loads and loads of Calum Leighton's productions and collaborations are kind of coming out now posthumously. And the whole crew around the label and the whole crew around all of the events that they do have pulled together in Leighton's name. The label is run by Andrew, Calum Leighton's father, plus Chunk, and Jib and Seth and a few of the others as well in the crew. It's such a touching story, just the whole thing of how something so sad can create something so powerful and so unifying and so positive, and that is why I support music. That is why I'm involved in the music industry. That is why I do what I do. I think stuff like that is just so important, and it highlights how life-changing and life-saving music can be. Like I said, from the darkest situation, something very powerful and light has happened. Now, normally, being a dance music journalist, like, this ain't hard journalism. This isn't something where, generally speaking, when you're just interviewing artists and you're promoting music, that side of music journalism, it's not the hardest thing. It's not hard journalism. It's not challenging. It's not like Jeremy Paxman style. You just need to be making sure that you're finding the right stories and you're shouting about the right music, and not something that's just been made cynically or made in a baity way. But when it comes down to it, when it comes down to the real sensitivities and telling stories and showing people love and respect, really, and giving people space to tell their story, and help people when they're doing something positive, that is that's universal amongst any style of journalism, really, that comes with delicacies, I guess, and sensitivities. And on this particular one, I've never had to do an interview like this before. I'll show you a little clip so you know what I'm talking about.
It's what Calum would want. Like, that's what he he's so passionate about drum and bass. That's what he wanted. His whole career was going to be about producing music. And so, yeah, keeping Run Da Riddim, running events for Run Da Riddim for him. He obviously organised the first event, which was 2 years ago this weekend, and he put so much effort into it. I know he was planning many more events, so to carry them on for him is what it's all about.
So that part is actually in the documentary. That's Andrew Leighton and Ursula Leighton, Calum's parents. A wonderful couple, an amazing, very inspiring couple, and family as well. Their daughter as well, Darcy, is keeping Calum Leighton's name as a DJ. When he was getting into drum and bass and stuff, she was a bit younger and didn't really care much for it or think much of it. Now in recent years, she is flying the flag for him and doing some of his blends. Like, this is so touching. So I did the full interview. The interview was in really interesting circumstances. It was in the back room of Lost Horizon. There were quite a lot of people in the room. A lot of them stayed really quiet because they understood the sensitivity of the interview, but I've never interviewed two parents who've lost their child, who've lost their son. Like, this is absolutely gutting. And the way that they hold themselves, the way that they are determined to make sure that their son's name continues and his legacy is developed, and his positive influence and all of the great energy that he had remains on this earth and passed around amongst his friends, amongst anybody who listens to Run Da Riddim releases or goes to their events. So that's what I want to highlight. I'm going to show you an extensive clip of that interview because we only use a short amount of it in the documentary, so I'm going to use a kind of 5 minutes or so, and that's just where I want to leave this video at today. Really, is just to give a lot of love to all of the Run Da Riddim crew, to highlight the documentary. If you've not watched it yet, please do. It features the likes of Jappa and Badger, alongside other really kind of close friends and relations to Calum and the other boys as well, Joe and Lawrence. So yeah, this is what I just wanted to highlight. Dance music journalism isn't known for being particularly hard-hitting in any way. There are lots and lots of examples of really important issues being brought up, being discussed. I've done a lot of them for DJ Mag. It's things that we've touched on as well with One More Thing, things like sobriety and mental health. There are so many really, really important issues. But as far as kind of a regular working kind of day for a dance music journalist, interviewing parents on a sensitive level as this doesn't happen very often. I want to send the complete full respect and love to all of the Leighton family and Run Da Riddim crew and everybody else involved. Please take a little look at this interview. Mark is going to be here with the freshest drum and bass playlist picks tomorrow with Chiz's choices, so that's going to roll tomorrow now. Didn't think it was really appropriate to be putting that at the end of such a sensitive and real and utterly sad and heartbreaking, but also really wholesome and positively inspiring part of the interview. That's how deep we go. That's how deep drum and bass and jungle goes in any form of art or culture, and that's how deep families go and friends go and communities go when they pull together. This is such a beautiful story. Here's the interview that I've done. Like I said, it's the hardest interview I've ever done in my entire career as a music journalist. It's only a short clip. It's only 5 minutes of it, and if there's any interest, I might well put put the whole thing up on Patreon. So thank you very much. Thank you to everybody who supports One More Thing. If you can, please hit the like button and the subscribe button, and support us on Patreon or any groovy stuff like that. It really is very much appreciated. Literally any help or support you can give us would be amazing. We will be back tomorrow, maybe with a slightly more fizzier tune or tone. I didn't really know how to voice this video. I just wanted to share the interview and highlight Run Da Riddim. So there we go. Be back tomorrow. Peace. I think it's beautiful. I don't know how many other parents would have that strength, that consistency, and that energy and that passion to carry on their son's passion in that way. Because I heard, like, drum and bass was completely alien. You were alien to drum and bass. Drum and bass was alien.
Yeah, I didn't know much about it, but I had started watching some of his videos he posted online. He used to, he had a residency at Goat Shed. I know that's finished now, but he did that for 6 months. That was the first time I used to start. Like when he said he was like live on Goat Shed, so I'd like tune in and have a look.
Did you like the music to begin with?
I like some of it.
Do you like it now?
No.
I'm quite getting to love it.
Yeah, I guess it's special.
You know, when your kids do stuff, you think you don't pay any attention, and then I thought, oh my god, this is quite. It's like therapeutic.
Yeah, I like the jungle music because I like reggae, and so jungle and like liquid, the more mellow stuff. But I don't really like the jump up. Well, I like some jump up, but not when when MC starts screaming. That's too much for me. But definitely jungle because I like sort of the reggae, and yeah, jungle was Calum's favourite genre. That's what he loved the most. So definitely like jungle, and a lot of the tunes Calum was making were jungle. So the first tunes he made, like he'd made 2 tunes that he'd finished that he started playing at events. So I remember him talking about that and being really proud of him playing out his own tunes.
Go on, what's the most important thing do you want anybody watching this to take home about Calum and to know about Calum when they're watching this?
Just that he loved music in general.
I also say pay attention to what your kids are doing, because I wish I had have listened more to what he was doing, and I thought, oh god, it's the phase. And then I look at it now and I think, oh my god, this is really good. And I wish I had to have been more involved in what he was doing and what he loved. But he was only 18, but we didn't have that much time to do it.
You always think you've got the next day to celebrate.
Yeah.
Don't you?
And he was just like he said, he'd found something that he really loved to do before he passed, and that was like way too late. And that's one of my regrets, that I didn't actually look at what he was actually doing. I just thinking, oh, he's mixing stuff on a deck. It doesn't make any sense.
Totally. And you don't know if it's going to be a phase, because everything usually is.
Yeah, but he was good. He was good at what he did, and he thought that he was going to have a career with it. He said, Mum, he said to you, he's finally found what he wanted to do, and then
when he found
after that,
drum and bass,
we lost him.